People who work in customer service. What is the one thing you never thought you'd have to explain to an adult? 1. No, I don't have the ability to find exactly where your package is right now. I don't have any more information on that than you do. 2. No, I am not going to give you an entire purchase coupon because you were nice to me. 3. No, I can't stay on the phone with you while you drive to the store to return your item. If you do not need immediate assistance, I have to move on. 4. No, I can't use a coupon for item A if you are buying item B. 5. No, the item is not in the back. 6. No, I can't call you if I am responding to your request via email. If you would like to speak to a representative, please call us. 7. No, I cannot give you the item for free simply because there is no tag on it. 8. No, you yelling at me is not teaching me anything. Except that you are an asshole. Explaining that having your nasty ass minivan cleaned in a $20, 15 minutes express wash and vacuum A service will in fact not magically replace missing paint and remove 24 Jolly Ranchers melted into the carpet. Our client bought a car from our dealership and called 2 days later to say that the back doors were not opening from the inside. Asked him specifically if the child lock is deactivated. To which he replied, yes it is. Brought the vehicle back to us. One of our salespeople opens the door and deactivates the child lock while getting in. Opens the door and the client is absolutely mind blown that the door is suddenly opening. That you actually have to pay for things if you break them. I don't mean like a little tear that happened accidentally. I mean this woman cut up a shirt because she couldn't get it off. She pulled scissors out of her bag and cut up the sleeve and down the side. Handed it back to me and walked off. I called after her and said, ma'am, you have to pay for this, and she responded with, but I don't want it and it's damaged now, so I shouldn't have to pay for it. I then explained to her that as she was the one who damaged it and we can't sell it, that she has to pay, as is store policy and I'm fairly sure is a given in most stores. She just looked at me and said, well, can't you just see it back up? No, that's not how it works, lady. In the end I radioed security and a store manager and she ended up paying for the shirt, which was PS 160, it was a rather pricey brand. But honestly, who thinks that's an okay thing to do? You can't apply a coupon if you 1, don't have it with you, and 2, doesn't even apply to WTF you ordered. If your payment term is 6 weeks. Being on holiday for 2 weeks is not a valid reason for not paying within the payment term. You need to take the suppositories out of their foil packaging before you use them. He complained that they didn't work and were uncomfortable. I bet they were. Okay, so this one always got me. We don't sell what you are looking for. I don't know where you can buy it because I work here and we don't sell it. I don't work in every store. Therefore, if it's not something I have ever bought, why the fuck would I know where you can get it from? Just look on Google, idiot. Make room for people getting out of the subway before shoving in. That you can't eat the food in your grocery cart. It needs to be paid for before you can consume it. Former post office employee. Had to explain many times where the stamp went, where the address went, and where the return address went. Not just to people from places with different postal systems, but local 20 and 30 somethings who didn't know. Knowing how to mail a letter was basic grade 2 learning in my day, 70s. And don't put the mailing address on the front and the return on the back, because there's a 50-50 chance they'll mail it back to you. That we sell stuff for a higher price than we buy it in for. They were genuinely angry that we didn't buy their crap for the same price we sold it at. If the closed sign is up, it means we're closed. Why am I still here then? Because I work here. But it says closed. Your work ends when it's closed. Well, that sure is news to me, because that's not what my boss told me. Karen. That online ordering being hard to do while you're hammered is not grounds for getting free food as compensation. That every payment has to be taxed, and that's not up to the company but to the government. Not customer service per se, but the ER, which has become very similar because the hospital gets more money with better reviews, so they push all the customer service BS. Anyways, I had to explain to a guy why we had to clean the maggots off of his legs. You cannot use the restroom with other people in a high-end cocktail bar. We are trained to have our eyes on everything at all times. I've had to tell grown-ass adults that you only enter a single toilet bathroom with another person to do blow someone. Or be blown, and trust me, I've personally been on all ends of all of those scenarios, but I have the taste to do it in a dive bar like a goddamn gentleman. You can't change your baby on an unoccupied table in a restaurant. You have to wear your shoes when you're clocked in and working the cash register. Ice is what makes the drink cold. If you don't want ice, the drink is going to be room temperature, not cold. That I couldn't help them diagnose their internet connectivity issues if they don't find their modem's power cord. My business is not a charity. We don't give you whatever you want just because you have a sad story. Oh. So many things. 1. If you wish to return an item, you must present the item and your receipt. I cannot process a refund if you have neither. 2. No, we do not sell asbestos. No, I cannot order some in for you. 3. When water boils, it does indeed produce bubbles. If the water is bubbling once it reaches temperature, your kettle is in fact working properly. 4. Zip ties are not simply disposable handcuffs. They can be used for other purposes, and it should not be concerning nor surprising that a hardware store sells them. If you don't pay your bill for several months, your service will get cut off. And no, we don't owe you money for the inconvenience of it. You won't get your way simply by yelling. Rules are there for a reason. That owning a Fitbit does not make you skinny, and today I had to explain to a couple that just because the Amazon Echo box doesn't state that it uses Wi-Fi, it will still use it as it needs it to be a smart home device. My first job at 16 was Party City. One day, I'm blowing up balloons at the balloon counter and a lady comes up to buy some latex balloons. I ask if she wants us to fill them and she said no, she'd do it at home. Making small talk. I said, oh, you must have one of the party time helium tasks at home. No, I blow them up with my mouth. You just put the string on them and they float. I do the multiple blinks, trying to work out in my head what she's just said. She fully believed she could blow up the balloons with her mouth, and the magic was attaching a string. I tried to give this woman an impromptu chemistry lesson. She insisted. I still think about that magic woman to this day. Your credit card needs to have money on it when you're checking into a hotel. Giving me your maxed out credit card to hold until you get paid isn't a thing. Several things I had to explain to various adults over time. Not all of it is from customer service. I can't remember the exact amounts, but 20 yo couldn't understand why payslip said 2,000 but deposited in the account was only like 1,500. The difference was before and after income tax, which is automatically withdrawn from your pay before getting paid out. Idiot, only read the top line before tax. That American Express credit card is still an American card despite it being issued by a national non-American bank. And the store can't process international cards, back then. Just because the store accept you pay in dollar or euro instead of local currency doesn't mean the change in my drawer will magically change currency. The store accepted 5 different foreign currencies and sales happened about twice a month. I don't control the store prices. If I say the card terminal can't accept, you willingly pay 5 cents more, so it is a nice big round number, then the card terminal can't do it. I will not cause a complete crash and lockdown of my till in peak rush hour with 10 waiting customers in line, because you wouldn't listen, when told twice already. That he has to order a substantial meal in order to have a drink because it was the law at the time, UK slightly before our third lockdown in a tier 2 area. I explained to him that he could order a small meal. And as long as he still had a bit of food left on his plate, he could keep ordering drinks. He could order 20 drinks for all we cared. Anyway, he just didn't get it at all. We kept going round in circles. He thought he had to order a meal per pint despite me explaining how it worked to him numerous times. And he asked if he could order a pint if he was eating in a couple of hours. Then he asked to speak to my manager. Of course. I also had to tell another customer that they're not allowed to have a barbecue in the pub's beer garden. Worked as a server at a higher-end steakhouse that had a beautiful patio. I was working a lunch shift on a day that was completely overcast, looked like it could start pouring rain any minute, so we didn't open up the patio. The patio always had tables and chairs, but we didn't open any umbrellas or set any tables. A lady came in and asked for a seat on the patio. Weird due to the weather, but whatever. I walked her out to the patio and set up a table for her, and as I was walking away she asked if she could sit in a sunnier spot. None of the umbrellas were open. There were no sunny spots because the sun was not out. I just looked at her and told her she could have her pick of any of the tables. She looked around and it was like it finally dawned on her that it was not patio weather. Years later, and I'm still not sure if she thought I had some magical weather powers or if she thought if she just wanted it to be sunny strongly enough it would be. If you want to continue using the service you need to pay your bill. Or why their services were suspended after they filed a chargeback. Feels like I'm talking to a child each time. How to tell time. Like how long is a minute? In tech support, I had to explain to a nurse how to make a capital letter for her password. How do you get a nursing degree without ever making a capital letter on a keyboard? Thanks for watching.